Hello there. Welcome to the video. I'm here on 20 minutes till dawn with a spark build. Obviously, spark purple. It's a 50% chance to call down lightning on impact for 5 damage. Uh, I'm doing it with dual SMGs. Wield 2 rapid shooting guns. Upgrades apply separately to each gun. Triggers on shot effect twice. It's great because it's 50% chance to use her ability, and you're firing 2 shots, so you're basically getting it for every click. And it's rapid fire, so you're bringing down a lot of lightning really fast right from the start. Here is the rune pages I'm using. For sword, I'm using Mesa System. Your bullets have a 2% chance to per rank to inflict burn or freeze. After inflicting freeze or burn 50 times, you gain a 50% fire rate and reload rate for 1 second per rank. Uh, when enemies die while burning or frozen, there is a 5% chance per rank of spreading their status effects to nearby enemies. Every 50 kills, your gun enters an eternal state. While eternal, your gun does not consume ammo. Eternal lasts for 2 seconds per rank. And for shield, we're doing knockback enemies after reloading. Reload rate is 2% per rank. After afflicting freeze or burn 50 times, invincibility for 1 second per rank. Uh, Start your game with a holy shield, reduces holy shield duration time by 5 seconds per rank. And I've actually maxed out growth, but we also have growth. You heal 1 HP every 5th level you gain, 4% more XP per rank. Um, with this build, I typically get to at least level 4 to level 40, so that's really good. Okay, so we have officially gone over the character, the weapon we're using, and the runes. Now, let's actually go over what trees we're going to be picking up and the pressure picking up from that tree, okay? There's a top 3 and another set of 4 different runes I'm going to pick up after you get the top 3, or the top 3 aren't available, okay? The top 3 if they are available are the electric tree, because we're obviously playing Spark, the pyro tree, and I bet you can guess the third one. Nope, it's the haste tree, not the cryo tree. The cryo tree we will be picking up in the second set, but I think you should pick up haste early on, because as you go into deeper levels of darkness, at least something that I've noticed is as they get faster, they get more health. The easier it is for you to get swarmed. Being faster than them just really helps, being able to squeeze away through a crack in their line, a crack in their, their flow of enemies, that you couldn't have without that haste speed boost is really great. You'll find some use for it, trust me. There'll be times when it's like, oh, good thing I had haste there. So that being something to pick up, especially for the hard Earth darkness levels, is something I think anyone should do. Sorry for the rambling. Then now the actual secondary perks you pick up, the second set that I think you need to focus on is the Cryomancy tree, because we are doing all elements. The Holy Tree, because if you looked at the rune page, I am running Blessing, and it makes the the Holy Tree just easier to finish with that. And if you're someone like me who one random enemy hits me from behind, just the one dude, like it's helpful for that. And then I guess there's 4 for this. It's a tie between double shot and gunner. So if you pick you can pick both those up in intervals if you happen to see it. And there's nothing else they want to pick up either like something from the double shot tree and the gunner tree. Because now we're going to go into synergies. The synergies we're doing is there 2 major synergies you need, and a third one that's like you'll probably pick it up because I happen to see it a lot more than I thought I would, but it's not necessary. But the first 2 anyway are overload, which is the frost and electric tree. It makes the enemies on fire blow up, and I gotta say, it is a sight to behold. It's nothing more satisfying than seeing a wave of not zombies, but lab crafting creatures just go up in smoke. So it's that. The second one is Frostfire, because once again, and I know I've already said it a billion times, we're doing all elements, and it's another elemental one. And then this is the third one that you might see more well, not see more, that you might see a lot, at least I have, even though it's not something I've really been shooting for, is stand your ground tree. Or not tree, but synergy. That one is just, it's a combination of the gunner and double shot tree. So if you haven't picked up both sets, that'll come up for you. And it helps. It's not a detriment to pick up. So if you see it, grab it. And those are all the perks slash synergies. I will be covering the pentagram items perks you can pick up when you kill the boss with the pentagrams. I think there's our name for it. I just can't remember at this time. I'll go over those when we pick them up in the actual game, but there are only like 2 that I really think you should grab. Okay, we have gone over the runes, character, weapon. I've discussed what perks we're looking for. Now, I think all we really need to do is play the damn game. And as we play, I'm gonna, give you my thought process and which ones I pick up and when. What to not pick up, I'll go over that as well, because there are certain things that I'll see and like, I am never picking that up. That does not contribute in any way to my build, But that being said, I've talked too much on this screen. Let's actually go into the game. Also, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and leave in your comment what other kinds of builds you want me to see. If you want to see me do this again on Higher Darkness, if you want to see me do some other build like a summoning build, any ideas you have, I want to hear them. Okay, first thing, don't do what I just did. As you saw there, that's why I rock Blessing, because I do that all the time. I'll start and think, oh, maybe bolts do enough damage already. Nope, that happens. Okay, this is a really good, actually, first upgrade choice for learning this build, because as you can see, none of these are in the top 3 I talked about. We have Magnetism, Glare, Rapid Fire, Frost Mage, and Quick Hands. Now, these 3 right here are things that I would pick up as a secondary upgrade, so I'm going to pick from them. But unless you're at the end game, like the last 2 or 3 minutes, never pick up Magnetism. As a matter of fact, I don't think you should pick this up at all. For this build, I don't really know the purpose of it for this build. It has its place in other builds, but not for this. And you also never want to pick up Glare, because none of our other upgrades relate to how much vision you have. So these 2 treats, just kick them out of your mind. Those are the things we're not going to pick up. But we do have 3 different options here. I'm going to go with Frost Mage, because that does mean I get a little more wiggle room. If I'm shooting at someone, they eventually freeze. So we're going to start with that one, and hopefully our next one will actually get to pick from... Pick from our top 3 choices. Let's just do it. Okay, second upgrade. We already discussed Glare. We can upgrade the Ice tree. We have 2 chances to upgrade it. We're never gonna pick this tree either, because this build and most elemental builds are like this, where you don't care how much damage your actual bullet does. What you care about is after they get hit with the bullet, when they're reflected with it, which element, how much that damage does. So we're never gonna pick up this. I think we're gonna pick up Divine Blessing, because I really like to get the max Holy Shield early. I really want to get this Stout Port Shield early on. Because, like, you see, I've already popped my shield, I want to get that back as soon as possible. That's really great at very newbie, by the way. Just having that shield every minute on the minute, it'll help you when it comes to early mistakes. You have more wiggle room to make mistakes. As you can see, I got hit by a thing from behind. Damn that creature. Okay, upgrade 3. Dragon Egg, this tree we will not be using. Vitality. This is a tree that can be an option. I'm not gonna pick it up yet, because obviously right here we have Stalwart Shield, which is what I actually am not gonna pick up. Okay, this is a good example, because this is a really difficult upgrade sample for me. We're not gonna pick up this. This I'm not gonna pick up or decide, even though it's a good secondary option. But we have this, which is, we're hitting more things at once. This goes into one of our synergies. But we also see Electromage. This is a very vital thing we need to pick up now. It hurts to not pick up this or that, but we're going to go for Electromage for now, because we need to pile on the damage. and nothing pounds on the damage more than lightning. Okay, I think this is upgrade 4. I'm gonna stop counting because I know I'll get them all wrong. We're not gonna pick up anything from the magnetism upgrade. We could go over, maybe do another increase our frost tree, kind of get through that. We already discussed this, but instead, oh, this is a hard one. I think, right? In my head, it's a tie between vitality and energize, because this is get this closer to electromaster, which we need first energy. But we are on 2 HP at 2 minutes in, and this can lead us down the path to regeneration, which is great no matter what build you're doing. So I think we're gonna pick up this now. Because at least for me, I have this curse of whenever I pick up vitality, 8 out of 10 times, like 9 out of 10 times, whenever I see the next upgrade for the vitality tree, it's giant. It's not the, I don't know what the angry face, whatever it's called. I never get that because I always hate giant, and I never get the other one, you know? So if I pick it up now in my head, at least for me, it's like, but more chances, to see the upgrade I actually want for that tree. We're not doing the summons at all. Like I talked about the dragon, we're not doing light weaponry. We could do frostbite, but look right here. Top 3-1 haste. You've already seen me, just letting enemies walk into me. Now I have more wiggle room. I could get around them faster. After this, I can pick up the one for walking speed, so I can shoot and be faster. It's just a good tree. You know what I mean? It's just a must-have in my opinion. Oh. Once again, that shield comes in handy. Obviously, we're not doing these two. We already discussed that. I think we're gonna do running gun because I just lost my shield because I didn't have this. Basically, if I moved faster, I would be able to dodge him. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab it and just work with that. I'm certain I'll pick up double shot later. It comes up often enough. I am trash. Okay. I somehow got to level 10 darkness with this. I'm not sure how. Okay, anyways. Okay. This one, I think it's no-brainer. We could also get Into the Wind. But honestly, Into the Wind is not... It's not bad, but I rarely knows the difference. It makes more sense for me, in my opinion, to pick up the shield. Just so I can get my, my little bubble shield back faster, so I can afford to make more mistakes, because I make a lot of mistakes even on the highest darkness levels. We're not picking up the ghost tree in any way. It's another summon tree. We're not really working with those. We're not doing... You can get certain things with take game tree, because maybe, like, not really for the spread thing, but the bolt speed isn't bad. And, this isn't a bad tree to pick up, especially considering how good Assassin is. But the truth is, you would not mess with this tree until late game, whenever you actually have most of your trees completed, and it's like, what could be more useful until I get past these last few minutes, okay? But, in this case, we are picking up double shot just because I need to get my damage out in more areas. I think I need to increase my damage spread. And by the way, ideally, by the time we're at like the last few minutes, at least with this build, I could just stand and run around in a circle, and it'll be fine. That's the best part, when you stand in a circle, spin around for the last 3 minutes. At least it is for me. I'm certain you guys have done that with some build. Maybe it's this or something else. You can do that with a lot of builds, I think. Now, I am getting pretty aggressive and close to my enemies, and I know you're probably thinking, you shouldn't do that, especially since I don't have a shield. That's just because I am overconfident as hell, and don't know when to stay away. Plus, I think we're pretty close to already killing the first... Like, I can't even complete the sins before I was right. Yeah, even on Darkness 5, at least that boss, and most of the bosses, the first 2 bosses, honestly, doesn't matter what darkness level you're on, at least in my experience, they still, if you're smart enough to be on that darkness level, they're not really that big a deal. Now then, These upgrades, we don't have a choice in them. These chest upgrades, it depends on what character you have. This case, we're getting electrical fire. Lightning strikes also inflicts burn for 3 damage per second. Okay, that's not the best one out of all of them, but it's not better because, like I said, we are building fire off the start, so it's not a waste. I could get into the wind here. A matter of fact, we're not doing magic lens, by the way. This isn't one of the ones we want to build for in this build. So we're gonna get into the wind, and we will complete the frost tree. Like we've seen a few of these guys pop up, but not quite yet. I want to get some of my other trees finished first. At least that's how I think. Because once you get the first frost mage ability, it's like that should be the final ability you get. You know, it's so broken. The fact I can, like, look, that guy was actually getting kind of close and just came to a screeching halt. And I didn't realize this. We have not seen Power Mage till now. Isn't that crazy? 4 minutes in, now we're finally seeing it. We need this bad. So of course, well, we already haven't seen it in a long time. We haven't seen it yet. It's my top 3. We are picking this up. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna pick up Angered Point because this will lead me to regeneration. And by the way, this tree, at least for me, is an exception where I don't want to complete the whole tree. I just want this and this. I hate this with a passion. You know? Like, I'm sure some of you agree, especially whenever you get crowded and you're used to a certain hitbox range, and then now it's only slightly bigger. You let enemies get just a little too close. At least that's how it is for me. So I'm gonna pick up Angered Point here. Eventually we'll see at the final part of that tree and pick that up, so we'll have the absolutely busted regeneration power. But until then, we're just gonna kill more dudes. Kill more of these Lovecraftian horrors, as they call them. Okay, we are on to the second boss. The strange thing about this boss, at least in my experience, is that I'm more afraid of everything around him than himself, whatever they call him. I don't know the names of these creatures, I haven't checked. Okay. But I tell you, we have regeneration now. Now, once again, this really helps me when I make mistakes. I can know, okay, I've lost an HP, but either when I level up to level 15 in this case, I'll get another health back. Or just give it another 30 seconds, I'll get it back, you know what I mean? Or I guess 1 minute 30, but... You know what I mean, you know? Oh, I'm surprised they didn't hit me. They may have. One of my perks does give me invincibility frames. Well... See, this is the problem with this boss. He gets so cramped. But I quickly dispose of it still. Now, this is our first pentagram upgrade where we actually have a choice. And our choices are speed, which we already have enough speed. Tome of Power, we'll never pick this up with this build. Like I said, we're not about bullet damage, we're about what happens after they're shot. And this does not help with that in any way, shape, or form. But, as we see here, we have Tome of Elements, which decreased bullet damage, but we already don't care about that. And increases burn damage, lightning damage, and freeze duration by 35%. This is obviously just a very straightforward buff for our lightning and fire damage. As we eventually increase the amount of frost we do, it'll help with that as well. Fire starter, we need this. That's very important for, excuse me, our synergies. Actually, let me check. Do we have it yet? I don't think we do. We don't have, like, any of the lightning upgrades yet, except for these two. Yikes. That's the thing with this game, though. Sometimes, like, most of the time, I don't even get the upgrade, the synergies, until, like, the last 8 minutes. Which isn't a bad thing, because I'll still manage without them. But, you know, it's something I have to accept, that synergies are late game items you'll slowly grab onto. But that's why you gotta know what you need at the start, so you can build towards them faster. That's why I know I needed that fire starter upgrade I just picked up, and I need to max out the electric tree. Not a lot of good options here. Hmm. I think this Frostbite will be better out of those two options. Obviously, we discussed the other three possible upgrades are kind of off the list as far as what we want. Okay, in our upgrade. Well, this is a hard one, I think, because all of these are viable choices. We could get Shatter, or Divine Wrath, Fanfire, or this. I think I'm gonna go with Blazing Speed, because that means we'll be finished with this tree. At least I think we are. Yeah, we'll be finished with this tree. Yeah, I check. But all those except for the bullet one were really good options. So it just up to that'd be up to how well you're playing in your particular match and where you're lacking. You know? That's one of the great things about this game though. You can go for the same like build like this is what I've done, but still you can have rounds where everything's just going against plan. You know what I mean? Like I'm this round particularly isn't actually that great, despite the fact I just got Electro Mastery. Talk about timing. Like I've had rounds of this game where I get this in like my first like 5 upgrades. Now I'm at 8 minutes in, now I'm finally getting it. And we still have to hope and actually overload actually becomes an option to us. We have pieces, but it won't show up just automatically. So we gotta hope the game's nice to us in that regard. Okay. We're not getting that. No. Okay. This is pretty straightforward. When we have either Shatter or Quick Hands. I think I'm gonna go for Quick Hands because, you know, we get armed and ready as well. And honestly, these two are so insignificant, at least in my mind. You barely notice the difference they make. But having that increased reload rate for a gun like this, you know, you go through ammo fast, and then the reload's a little long. It's just a good thing to have. That being said, because of the upgrades we have, it's taking us a little bit longer to go through ammo, which is one of the nice things about this build too. If you build it right, you're basically gonna have to never reload your clip again. Like seriously, just look at my ammo count. Overload! Perfect, okay, but like I was saying, if you just watch my ammo count the past few minutes, you would have noticed how the ammo kind of comes back pretty frequently. But besides that, we have our first synergy, Overload. When lightning strikes an enemy that is burning, create an explosion that deals 25 damage. And the great thing about this is it kind of causes chain reactions. Like if I see a particular, like if you notice they are kind of way in a U, like a curve shape, like a graph going up. They're not too big now, but whenever you're in like the end game, last few minutes, and like hordes are just coming on screen at once, it looks really, it's just amazing. Got two options here: split fire. We could pick this up as well if you wanted to, but because we're past the point where we're reloading. Really, we are. I only got the first one of this because I could get armed area, which is we get more ammo, which is very important. Uh, there's sometimes you won't even need this. I just recommend it because depending on how your run goes, it just how do I word this? I guess it'll be better explained when we get to a different boss. But when we get to the next boss that drops the pentagram, there will be times where you'll miss out on a certain tome that makes this more important to grab. But because we're getting there and we're not there quite yet, it makes more sense to me to either pick up the split fire or the soothing warmth. Um, Obviously this it technically can give us more HP, but it's such a small amount. I never really notice it. And I think because there's so many enemies on screen now, it makes more sense to go to split fire. It also gets closer towards fuselage. I also want to check real quick before we get back into the action. Let me read the chat. Not the chat, the chart. We also don't have the fan fire, which obviously I won't need at this point because we're barely reloading. But it will get us closer to fuselage, so it's worth picking up anyways. Look at these level ups happening so fast. It's amazing. First clip, Leo rate 5%, but we discussed that to death already, so let's just ignore that for now. We could go Divine Wrath or Electro Bug. I think I'm gonna go for Electro Bug. No, this is a hard one. I think I'm gonna go for Divine Wrath because I don't have Divine Blessing yet. I think, and I'll guess obviously closer to Stalwart Shield, which is a good pickup. Shield's back, which is nice. Okay. We're not really gonna discuss. I think we already discussed that. It's not really viable for us. We could start this tree. This is a good in-game tree. It'll get us closer to one of our synergies. But I think I want to wrap up this because it's coming up a lot and it'll give us more space. I think I just saw a tree get destroyed there. You might have noticed it too. I'll have to check and post. And increased burn damage just makes sense here. We're about halfway through the run now. We're level 25. 24 actually. And I think we're doing pretty well. This is where I would expect myself to be. Obviously, you could get a better run if you had a little bit more luck. You could already have, another synergy by now. I could already have the highest level of the shield and a few other specific things. But, in a game like this, it's all about, having to take your time and being smart with your choices. Especially whenever you're having trouble getting things you want. And I think this is a good kind of like medium run in the sense that we're not getting the best luck in the world, but it's not a terrible run. It's a good medium luck run. This is kind of the general stuff you'll see most of the time, which is really good. Okay. I think, you know what? We've been neglecting the ice. Let's finish up the ice tree. I'm gonna pick up that first, then we'll pick up Shatter. I honestly probably should have picked up Shatter first, but it doesn't really matter in this case because, come on, look at the screen. I'm not exactly in a pinch right now, which is the best thing. The best thing to tell you you're doing good is you're not in a pinch. I'm like trailing enemies, kind of scooping them up and spraying them down. He's kind of like an asteroid floating through space. Just like a little piece of rock that came off the planet. I need to be paying more attention. I popped my bubble and they're getting kind of close. Give me a second to focus. Okay, we're gonna pick up Shatter. Because I think that's... Do we have Frostbite? Yeah, we have Frostbite. That's all of the Frost stuff now, so I'll stop saying that. And look at that, the asteroids popped. Okay, this is another one of those we don't get to pick. It just comes up. Spark charged up. Every third lightning strike deals double damage and generates 1 ammo. We already have basically infinite ammo generation, so that's not a big deal, but the third lightning strike thing dealing more damage. That's already good. Just more damage. All damage is good as long as it's tied to our lightning and our fire in this build, That's all it's about. I don't have this yet? That's surprising. But this is a hard one too. I could get Fanfire, increase my chance of picking up Fuselage. I could get this and finish the Electric Tree as well. Or I could start Rapid Fire. I think I'm going to do this one because I really want to increase my chances of grabbing Fuselage. I really could use that right now. I'm just not spinning out enough damage in enough directions, you know what I mean? Like, the shot from the back helps, but I need more. Look at that. We've finally got Frostfire. This is obviously, like I said, one of the 2 must-haves for this build. Yes, we are getting it, with only 6 minutes left on the clock, but these do take time to finally show up. And that we now have 2 of the 3, I forget the word every time. Synergies is right in front of me. We now have 2 of the 3 synergies, the 2 must-have ones. We still have a chance to pick up the final one, but we need Fuselage, and we need to actually work on the rapid-fire tree. So I doubt we'll get it this run, but just keep in mind that's an option. You know, it will help you. But those are the only ones I want to focus on. Like I said, you don't want to grab summoners and try to do the summoning trio with this build or anything like that. How about that? Fuselage. I've been looking for this. And with that, I want to check something. We have fuselage. Like I said, we're not going for this mini clip. We're looking for stand ground. We still need siege, which I know we don't have. That's what we're going for. Remember that. We already got. I'm surprised it took us this long to get there because I think we've had intense burn and frostbite for a minute. Maybe not intense burn because we really postponed the fire upgrades. It's all about learning which ones you can and cannot postpone. You know, depending on what level of darkness you are and how experienced you are. Sometimes it makes sense just to, you know, not pick up this or postpone that. It's all about experimenting. You know, this is just a general something I found that works for me. And kind of like something to work off of. You know, maybe this copy pasted works for you very well. Maybe you take some aspects of it, mix it with something else, and you make something else that really works for you. It's all about just experimenting. And by the way, this is not really at all, but we are at the worst boss in the game. And I'm upgrading. I think this one's a pretty... No, let's start rapid fire. I think we need to right now. Like I said, I could have gone the other one, but it's like we need to start it. I think we've postponed it enough. And like I said, this is the worst boss in the game, in my opinion. At least the hardest for me. But let me know what the hardest boss views in the comments too. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. I just took damage there. I gotta be careful. I need to shut up for a minute. Sorry, I need to actually focus on this boss. Oh my god, did you see that? I was about to pop off again. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. We can get the increased damage again. Or, I see it here. Oh wait, I lied. No. Okay, so I just hoped that the other book would show up here. Because we already picked up this, right? We picked up the increased damage for our elementals. It's a no-brainer for this build. But there's another book. I don't remember how many books there exactly are, but there's another book that works for this build. I forget the name of it. It's like the book of speed, or not that, because that's the speed book. There's a book that triples your ammo and does some other stuff that increases like your fire rate and stuff. It just makes you turns your SMGs into a minigun, basically. I forget the name of it. I'll probably put it up on screen. But you need to pick up that book as well. If it's an option, pick up that or the elemental book. Those are your two must, like, you gotta have them. If they just don't show up for you, I forget how many books there are, just, you know, bite your tongue and lose an HP or whatever, just work whatever it gives you, but they'll at least give you one of those, and you really need to pick those up, you know? Pick up this. We'll pick up the second one, because that's what it's giving us as an option, so pick up this, and whatever the hell else it gives you, you know? Okay? Pick up this, the other book I'm talking about, which I'll put up on screen. And, you know, hope that's the ideal run. If not, you gotta work with what it gives you, you know? They're really brutal with those books sometimes, you know? Because we do have 2 of them now. So we're doing, like, what's that, 70%? Which is great, you know, that's more damage. But that other book is really useful. But I guess because we're not picking that up, I'll show you in a minute if my cat will move out out of my screen. Sorry. I know you can't see him, of course, but there's the final boss, who's a pushover. Don't worry about him. Just kind of shoot in his general direction every now and then. And you see what I mean when I said earlier, I just kind of stand in a circle and do this. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of making circles. Firing. I'm not running out of ammo because of the things I picked up. You know? Okay. This is why I picked up this tree as well, because if you don't get that book like we just did, this is a good tree to have. And this tree helps as well with that. Fire rate. No. Speaking of which, I know we have this and this. These two we really don't care about, which I probably already said at some point. So we're gonna do rubber bullets. Because we do want to get siege, because then we only have 3 minutes, so we're probably not gonna see it in that time frame. But if you get this earlier and you actually get siege with fuselage, you can pick up that third synergy that I've been talking about. We just can't. We're not gonna be able to manage it this run. Look at how they just fall. Isn't that amazing? Okay, Lightning damage. Okay, Electro Affinity for Spark. Like I said, we don't get to pick on these ones, they just kind of show up. But Electro Infinity, less bullet damage, but more lightning damage. That's what it's all about in this run, lightning and fire. That being said, we're at the last minute and a half, and I don't see this being any different besides getting a little bit more chaotic. So, yeah. Here it is. Siege. Light bullets. I'm literally just going around in a circle and pick up my XP. Okay. We'll pick up this because it's not gonna hurt us, of course, but it's not any of these because we don't, like I said, these are not 1-2 pickups. You could pick up magnetism in this case, though. I know I'm being a hypocrite in what I just said, but at this point in the run, we have 2 minutes left. We're not faced. We beat all the bosses. You can, if you just say fuck it, pick up magnetism or magic lens or this. You can just go ham and pick up random upgrades. Just know that if you pick up one random upgrade, it's gonna be hard to pick up the final bits of whatever upgrade you're already working on. That's why I'm going to just grab this. I'm gonna grab magnetism because it's satisfying to pick up all the orbs. I'm a sucker for that. But just know, with me doing this, it's gonna be hard for me to find this again. Not by a lot, because I finished most of my trees, if not all of them, but just keep that in mind. See, it popped back up, fortunately, but if I start picking up this, and this, and this, it would become problematic. Pop my bubble. But at this point in the game, I don't care if I run straight into something, I'm a god. We are literally god in this case. Okay, glare, we're not picking that up. We could grab that, but I think we're gonna grab this. It doesn't matter. What? I can't believe I picked this up yet. We've been ignoring Electro Bug, haven't we? Let's just grab that. More lightning, more damage. Makes sense. Okay, just been doing more same thing, run around in circles, shredding enemies. We only have 47 seconds left, but look what I found. Stand your ground. This is one of the things that you should be working towards for your build. I kind of neglected it this particular run, but like I said, every run is different. It might be easier for you to get one run, hard to get the next. So I think it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna pick this up. 2 projectiles, fire rate increase, and less movement speed. But we already picked up all the haste stuff, so it's negligible. Like, I'm still walking around pretty fine, yeah. Like, this is okay, especially at this stage in the game when nothing gets anywhere near close to you. That being said, let's see if I can just stand here for the last 30 seconds. Let's just see. Kind of show you just how busted this is. I did it. You can look on the left of the screen, you'll see everything I particularly picked up in the order. Like I said, if I could pick every upgrade whenever I wanted to, it would be like, get all the lightning first, scale of fire first, then what this or that or whatever. But this game where you have to deal with what you've been dealt, you might not get the most ideal upgrades at the start. It's all about, working with what you're given. That's what we did here. And look, we got all 3 of the synergies I talked about. We got 2 really strong tomes, even though we didn't get the tomes I exactly wanted. And we beat that, and that was on level 5 darkness. And you can take this to at least level 10 darkness, as I've done that. And I'm confident that you could take it to level 15. It would just, be harder as you went along, and you'd have to be more and more precise with what upgrades you pick up and how you act and stuff. But I am completely confident that this build worked for you no matter what darkness level you're at. If you're just trying to get into darkness and you're struggling, if you're a newbie and just want to have a solid build to start with and you thought this sounded cool, here you go. That being said, I appreciate you watching. Goodbye.